evening there, Facebook Live. Apostle Terrence Lyons of Ecclesia Ministries here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Coming to you on tonight, bringing you tonight's Bible study. All right, let's try that again. Good evening, Facebook Live. Apostle Terrence Lyons of Ecclesia Ministries here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Coming to you again on tonight, bringing you tonight's Bible study. So I don't know what happened there, but definitely going to be a barn burner. Because again, that's want to make sure that everything is where it needs to be. So hopefully everybody is locked in there and able to get where everything needs to get to. So I want to do something here to try to get rid of the one that don't belong. So hopefully everybody is shifting over to the right one, and that should not be playing there. So we want to get that out of the way. So if good evening, Overseer Melissa. Good evening, Prophetess Tanisha. Let me do something here. If you're able to, Overseer Melissa, or if Kim is on here, see if you can go and delete the other one, because evidently it is still showing that it is trying to play, and I'm definitely not trying to stream two separate places at the same time. So if you can go over there and delete that so no one will come on here. This is nothing of my doing, so we again know that this is going to be a barn burner to help everyone get what they need to get. Be a barn burner. So good evening there, Miss Tanya. Good evening there, Pastor April. Good evening there, Mr. Clarence and Miss Linda. So we again, I apologize for all of that trying to happen there. It just popped up on the screen and told me that there was something that deleted my initial time of trying to go live. So that's okay. I've got plenty that we're gonna light up in here. So let me get a couple of things adjusted here, and we'll be right where we need to be. All right. So I'm sure you see tonight's question. Are you building quiet strength or public weakness? And again, this, I know definitely going to be a barn burner now. I kind of knew it initially, but I really know it now. So good evening there, sis. Um, to know the instance of an attempt to delete when we first start. But I'm sure your week has been quite busy. I'm sure your week has been um, somewhat trying because it was finishing up the 10th month and starting this 11th month, which is started at sundown on this evening. And in case you didn't see and haven't paid attention, so today is the 11th day of the first month on the Gregorian calendar, and it's the first day of the 11th month on the Hebrew calendar. So, yeah, it's definitely set up to be a barn burner. It's set up to be a different kind of day. And I want to make sure that as we step into this 11th month, that you understand the dynamics of what's actually going on. Each of the Hebrew months, they coincide with a different sense of the body. And this month, the 11th month, the month of Shevat, uh, lines up with with the sense of the body of taste. So again, for it to be the 11th day of the first month on the Gregorian calendar and to be the first day of the 11th month on the Hebrew calendar, there's something distinct that God is working right here, right now. And as you've went through your day, you've probably noticed it's been a different type of day in the standpoint of there were things that you couldn't just quite get flowing like you wanted them to flow. You couldn't get to where you wanted to get to at the pace that you wanted to get there at. There were hindrances that were taking place to keep you from doing what you wanted to do the exact way that you wanted to do it. And the thing that I want you to get and understand about everything going that way is when we look at, because we're going to look at Deuteronomy 1 uh, later on. That's not what we're starting out with, but when we look at Deuteronomy 1 later on, the number 11 means double witness. And when you understand that God's been waiting on you to be witness to what he wants to do through you. He's been waiting on you to come into agreement with him about how he wanted to do some stuff. He's been waiting on you to really get to the place to where you're comfortable being you. He's been trying to get you to the place to where who he was talking to before the foundation of the world, he wanted to make sure that you came into agreement with and are witness to who he was talking to before the foundation of the world. So with this day being the day that it is, I want you to understand a couple of things, because quiet strength or public weakness has been the catalyst for a lot of your outcomes. I didn't say which one. I just said they've been the catalyst for a lot of your outcomes. The things that you thrived at, the things that you pressed forward in. If you'll think back, you had a quiet strength about that. You didn't care what anybody else thought about it, but you knew that you had to go the way that you were going and how you had to go in such a way that you were not going to be denied. And you were going by that quiet strength. You didn't need no approval from nobody else. You didn't want no assistance from nobody else. You understood, I got this. So I need for y'all to type that in starting out before I even do anything. I need for you to just say, I got this. Type in, I got this. Now, this is, of course, with the help of the Lord. Don't get all religiosity on me. That's with the help of the Lord. But I need for you to know, and I need for you to be witness to know that you got this. Because until you are at a place to where, whether anybody assists you, whether anybody cheers you on, whether anybody else agrees with you, it don't even matter. I got this. It don't even matter at this point, because you've gotten to a place that you're now like, look, come hell or high water, I got this. No matter what opposes me, I got this. Come what may, dislike me if you want to, hate on me if you'd like, I got this. Because you're not going to stop me now. I've come into agreement with who the Most High has put me in the earth to be. So you can't stop me now. And the reason that that's so important as we look at this question tonight is I want to start out in the book of Judges, chapter 16. We're going to look at verses 18 through 22. I want to make sure that you don't make this mistake that Samson made. Because one of the things that you have to get in order and exactly where it needs to be is, again, making the Most High your audience of one. See, because when you are making the Most High your audience of one, then that's letting me know that you're functioning off of that inner and quiet strength. Because you're not trying to get the attention of anybody but him. You're not trying to agree with anybody but him. And when you get to that place, and this, I cannot explain to you how important this is, because this goes if you're a child, not you ain't trying to get the parents' attention. You're trying to get the Most High's attention. If you're married, you're not trying to get your spouse's attention. You're trying to get the Most High's attention. When he is who you are looking to please, everything else with everybody else is going to fall into place. Don't put boo first. Don't put shmoo first. Don't put them first. Put the Most High first, and then watch what happens with your relationships with everybody else. So in the book of Judges, chapter 16, verses 18 through 22, it says this. It says, and when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he hath showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hand. Remember our title of this part of the series, Kingdom, Religion, or Money. So then, in verse 19 it says, and she made him sleep upon her knees, And she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head. And she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. Now, again, this is who he's supposedly delighting in. And this is how she's responding to him. So he's losing his strength while he's sleeping with her. There's a message there for somebody. But this is what I want you to get. In verse 20, it says, and she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. So she's setting him up. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as at other times before. So I need y'all to type in something for me. This ain't the same. This ain't the same. Not this time. This ain't the same. So he says, at other times before, and shake myself. And he wist not, or in other words, he knew not that the Lord was departed from him. Now, the reason that I wanted you to type in this ain't the same is because this one's not about you losing power. This one's about you gaining power, because I want to show you something. It goes on and it says, but the Philistines took him, put out his eyes, and brought him down to Gaza, and bound him with fetters of brass, and he did grind in the prison house. But verse 22, this is why I'm saying it ain't the same for you. It says, howbeit, the hair of his head began to grow again after he was shaven. So I need for y'all to type in, my strength is coming back. Yeah, I can feel this one. I've been feeling this one. My strength is coming back. Slowly but surely, just like slow hair growth, my strength is coming back. And that's what you have to understand, is your strength is coming back. This how this day played out was to let you know I've got both calendars working on your behalf. I got ones across the board. I got double witness across the board. I'm starting the 11th month of the Hebrew calendar. I'm starting it on the 11th day of the first month of the Gregorian calendar. Y'all just hold tight. We back on. Let the signal come back in. Come back across the live. And we'll be back. Y'all shoot me a thumbs up. Y'all shoot me a thumbs up. Let me know you back you back in business. Cause again, I told y'all this is gonna be a barn burner. Gonna fool around and make me go get my hat. Make me go get my beret. Cause again, like I said, and this is the funny thing. I ain't even gave you the first point yet. I ain't even gave you the first point yet. And they trying to shut it down. They just don't understand. Because this is what I need you to get. I'm going to go ahead and give you the first point. Now, since I done read through Judges 16 verses 18 through 22. First point is public weakness is revealed, watch this, by wanting your power to be seen. And that's important. So when Samson gets up and he says, I'm going to shake myself like I've done before. I'm just going to go back to doing what I was doing before. And that's before he knew that he had been bamboozled by his baby. So y'all don't let your baby bamboozle you. Don't let her keep you. Don't let your boo keep you from becoming the fullness of strength that you've been put in place to be. So this is why I want you to get this, because in verse 20 where he says, she said, the Philistines be upon me. Now, she's the one that set it up. So yeah, she knows. She's the one that started the shenanigans. So yeah, she knows. And she's now wanting to understand and now wanting to know, is this really going to stop him now that I done got paid? Is this really going to hinder him from the power that I seen him step into? Because I'm just trying to understand who he is. And see, that's the thing that you all have to realize is there are certain elements that need to stay secret because that's where your quiet strength is. Uh-oh. 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 See, there's something about your individuality that you have to make sure that that's a you and the Most High thing. And see, that's you and the Most High's business, because he's the one that placed that inside of you. He's the one that put you in the earth the way that he put you in the earth so that you could function to the fullness of the capacity of who he talked to before the foundation of the world. So they don't need to know everything. See, y'all type that in for me. They don't need to know everything. And again, you can type that. You can say everything. Y'all put it how you want to put it. Because, like I said, y'all see it's going to be a barn burner. And they trying to do whatever they can do to stop it. But ain't no stopping us now. I ain't going to sing because that ain't my gift. But y'all know what I'm talking about. That's the situation that you've got to understand, is that when Samson right here lets her know where all of his strength is coming from, she sells him out for some money. She sells him out. And when she sells him out, he's the one that loses his strength. But thanks be to God. Is that now? You don't need to let everybody know everything like that no more. See, and some of you have allowed that to shut you completely down. Don't let previous hurt shut you completely down. You're not supposed to just be completely shut up and not let them know nothing, but they don't need to know everything. Shouldn't be to the point that they have to use a crowbar to pry information out of you, but at the same time, you don't need to be giving them everything about where the source of your power is, because if you give them that, they're not going to value it like you value it, because they ain't you. And that's, I need for y'all to type that in. They ain't me. I feel somebody getting free from this. Somebody's getting fully free because you recognize now that you've been selling yourself short because you've been trying to make sure that somebody else is taken care of based upon information about you. And they ain't even the ones that are benefiting from you being you. Now, they might be just like this case right here with Delilah. She's getting money off of him, off of Samson, and what she knows about him that he's revealed to her. So now she's getting paid off of his gift, off of his strength. Sounds like that's what's been going on with some of you in the corporate world. Somebody else been benefiting off of your strength and off of your gift, and you ain't even getting the fullness of it. It's time for you to get the fullness of it. It's time for you to start walking in that quiet strength. See, because this is what you got to understand. In verse 21, it says, the Philistines took him and they put out his eyes. Wait a minute. Why are you after my eyes when the strength is in my body? Watch this. So you can't see where to apply your strength. All the things that's been coming at you and trying to distract you is just so that you won't be able to see where to apply your strength. Oh, I just taught somebody something right there. Somebody just saw it right there. See, they go after his eyes and then bring him down. It's like, I don't see where to apply my strength. That's what goes on when they take his eyes out. So the problem is you haven't been seeing where to apply your strength. That's why you've been worried about what everybody else is doing. It's time for you to quit worrying about what everybody else is doing and see where you need to apply your strength. Just do it. Because here's what I need you to understand. For our second point, I want you to go to Matthew 6. Because in Matthew 6, I want you to see this. In Matthew 6, watch what's fixing to happen right here. Matthew 6, we're going to look at verses 5 through 7. I want you to see this. Matthew 6, verses 5 through 7. It says, and when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut the door, pray to thy Father which is in secret. And thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. But when you pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. I need for you to get this before I go to another passage of scripture. Right there in verse 6, when he says, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut the door, again, it's just you and him. That's why I wanted you to understand You don't need to tell them everything. I don't need to tell you all my secrets. I don't need to tell you all of my strengths because I got to use them strengths in secret so that I can build this quiet strength. Because when I get this quiet strength built, you're going to find out what I pray. So y'all type that in for me. They're about to find out. They're about to find out what you prayed because he's going to reward you openly. See, but when you was just trying to make yourself seem all deep and make yourself seem like all y'all intelligent and like you know a little bit of something, trying to let your power be seen. See, when you was doing all of that, that was your reward. He said, I ain't got to answer that prayer because you was just trying to get seen. So they saw you and they heard you. But as far as what your request was, don't look for that because I need to write hard about you first. See, because when you go in and you close that door and it's just you and him, he said, okay, I know they serious now because they ain't saying nothing to nobody. See, that's why they about to find out because you done got serious. See, y'all type that in. I done got serious now. See, it's done got serious now because where you're at, you're looking for his results. You're not looking for their applause no more. I'm looking for his results. I ain't looking for no applause. I ain't looking for you to pat me on the back. I ain't looking for you to support me. I'm looking for his results now. So see, that's why you got to get serious now. Because again, I ain't looking for your pats on the back. I ain't looking for your affirmation. I ain't looking for you to give me your little applause. Because this is where it's at. When he says, when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which, seeth in secret. Now this is what I need you to get. He doesn't say listening in secret. He says seeing in secret. And that's crucial. Because see, now he's looking for your words. Not listening, he's looking for them. He's checking to see, are you really in agreement with me? See, because this is what I need for you to understand. So now I need for you to go to the book of Daniel, chapter 10. We're going to look at verses 9 through 12. Daniel, chapter 10, verses 9 through 12. Then I'm going to give you this second point. Daniel, chapter 10, verses 9 through 12. He says, yet heard I the voice of his words, and when I heard the voice of his words, then was I in a deep sleep on my face, and my face toward the ground. And behold, a hand touched me, which set me upon my knees and upon the palms of my hands. And he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak unto thee, and stand upright. For unto thee am I now sent. And when he had spoken this word unto me, I stood trembling. And he said, then said he unto me, fear not. Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before God, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words. He's looking for your words. So y'all type that in for me. He's looking for my words. He's looking for your words that are in agreement with what he spoke to you. See, because He sent his word and healed you. He sent his word for you to function by, but he's been waiting on you to come into agreement with what he sent to you to function by. So until you come into agreement, and that's why I told you this day is so important, because it's the 11th month and the first day of the 11th month, starting on the 11th day of the first month. So when he does these distinct things with the calendars, it's something special that he's wanting to happen. So here's my second point that I want you to get. Private prayer produces public power. Private prayer produces public power. See, here in Daniel 10, there is an angel moving on the behalf of what Daniel prayed. I need you to think about that. He's got angels moving based upon what you say. And see, some of you, y'all see how serious it's getting. No, it is. Y'all see how serious it's getting. Woo. Rabakasandalaboko. Woo. Mm-hmm. Y'all see how serious it's getting. See, the thing I need you to understand is this right here. He's got angels looking for your words, coming on the behalf of your words, because as soon as your words agree with his, everything, watch this, of all realms now has to come into alignment to work together for what you said. So, so y'all type this in for me. I said what I said. I said what I said. See, because what I need you to get now, as we get ready for this third point, is this right here. I want you to go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 9 through 12. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 9 through 12. It says this. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 9 through 12. It says, "But as touching brotherly love, you need not that I write unto you, for ye yourselves are taught of God to love one another. And indeed, you do it toward all the brethren which are in all Macedonia. But we beseech you, brethren, that you increase more and more." So this is what I want you to see. What he's saying to him is, I see y'all know how to love each other, that you're close to, that you clicked up with. I see you got that. He said, but I need for you to grow in this. I need for you to learn how to expand in that so that you can bring in more with that same type of love. So he goes on and he says this. He says, and that you study to be quiet. See, that's why I wanted you to, are you building quiet strength or are you building public weakness? Because he says, so you study to be quiet and to do your own business and to work with your own hands as we commanded you, watch this, that you may walk honestly toward them that are without, and that you may have lack of nothing. He said, you're going to encounter some people that don't know about the love that you walk in. You're going to encounter some people that have no idea of why you ain't shook by all of this stuff that you're seeing. They done tried everything to get your attention this week. From the weather, from coaches retiring, from all of the different things. We want to take this one's name off the ballot, the voting ballot. So now we want to take this one's name off the voting ballot. Oh, we need to tell you about all of these things that are going on with the court. Oh, we need to make all of these different things happen. And see, when they see you ain't shook by none of that, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to respond to you now. See, when you ain't up in arms and posting about, your coach quitting, when you ain't posting about the Cat Williams stuff, when you ain't posting about the Jeffrey Epstein files, when you ain't posting about Trump in court, when you ain't posting about the economy, when you ain't posting about being afraid of the weather, when you ain't posting about those things, they don't know how to respond to you. They don't know what to do. That's why I know they trying to mess with cutting me off. Ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen. You're not gonna stop me because I'm on assignment and I know who gave me the assignment. So that's why I wanted you to see this, because he said, you study to be quiet, do your own business, work with your own hands as you've been commanded, walk honestly toward them that are without, that you may have lack of nothing. Because this is what I want you to get. See, if you go with me to 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 1 through 10, this is where I'm probably not going to do right. Now, I've been kind of staying under control, but I ain't finna do right here. So, in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 1 through 10, it says this. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 1 through 10, says this. Watch this. It says, and I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of God. For I determined not to know anything among you save Jesus Christ and him crucified. So in other words, he said, other stuff could have been questionable. But one thing that I was 1,000% sure of, I knew about Jesus being the Christ, being the Messiah, being my Savior, him crucified, and I know he got up. Because that's why I'm walking in the power that I'm walking in. That's why I can triumph over all of the things that have opposed me. So watch the rest of this. He says, and I was with you in weakness. Public weakness or quiet strength. And see, what he's showing you is he's saying, when I was with you, it was in weakness and in fear and in much trembling. He said, I wasn't for sure how to get this conveyed over to you. I knew what it was about me, but I didn't know how to get it over to you. See, and that's what exactly happened with when God had taught me about time, and I had went through all of the time of learning about time. I had went through all of the studies. I had gotten with Jewish rabbis. I had checked with different people. I had looked at different resources. I had studied for years and finally got the understanding of the time. And then soon as I got it understood on my side, he said, okay, now I need for you to teach it to others and write it in a book. I was like, whoa, hold on. I was getting that for me. He said, I know what you was doing and that you were doing the right thing. You were doing it for you. But now I need for you to share that with the rest of the world. So I need you to write this book. That's where Farmers Don't Cry in the Winter came from. Then after I got that one done, and I was like, cool. I got it. He's like, that ain't personal enough. Now I need for you to write another one. I need for you to write knowing your season. I need for you to show individuals what their life has been like and why I've had their life the way I've had their life so that they can understand how time has been working on their behalf. So then I was like, cool, I'm done. Well, now I'm working on another one. Don't know when that one will be because life has skyrocketed forward for me. But this is what I need for you to understand, and this is the only reason I was telling you this, because right there he says, my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power. I'm just trying to help you get some quiet strength. That's why I'm showing you about how you're supposed to spend your prayer time. It ain't about you being in front of nobody else praying. It ain't about you saying it out loud for other people to hear you. It's about you and him being in a secret place and then him saying, okay, they for real because I'm the only one they worried about pleasing right here. So angels, y'all go work on their behalf. And I will let you know what part you need to play, whose heart you need to turn, and whose favor you need to get turned towards them because they said what I said to them before the foundation of the world. So now I got to make both of these realms in heaven as it is in earth. I got to make both of these realms match because they are now witness to what I said to them and they are walking in it. This is why I need you to get this. He goes on in verse 5 and he says that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men. I ain't trying to get you pointed towards me. I'm trying to show you how to stay pointed towards him. But in the power of God. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, among them that are developed, among them that are matured. Watch this. Yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which God ordained, watch this, before the world unto our glory, which none of the princes of this world knew, for had they known, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. Watch this. But as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth, watch this, all things, yea, the deep things of God. So here's what I need you to understand about the third point. See, the lack of maturity in integrity. Listen to how I'm saying it. The lack of maturity in everybody's got a certain level of integrity. It's just some are still infants in it. So they only got a little bit of integrity. I'm talking about lack of maturity in integrity in private is eventually revealed in public weakness. So you got a lot of things coming out public now. That's why they're coming out, because there was a lack of maturity in integrity with those that is coming out about now. So watch this. See, how you handle those that are not like you reveals your strength or your weakness. And this is why I want you to understand this. That's why one of the best things that you can find out to check out the character of a person, take them out to eat. How are they treating the waiters and the waitresses? How are they treating the people that they don't know? How are they responding to them? That'll tell you a lot. If they're being absolute buttholes to them, what you think they're going to do to you? And I mean, it's crazy for them to do that because these people are serving your food and you talking crazy to them. No, I ain't ordering nothing with you. we, we separate. We on separate tickets. Hey, they on their own over there. Don't you send word back to that cook. They by themselves. Don't don't take it out on me. Don't take it out on my food. Take it out on their food, not mine. But this is what I need you to get, because as we get ready for this fourth point, I want you to understand something very important. So I want you to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 17. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 17. Because I want to show you something here. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 17. It says, the words of wise men, are heard in quiet. Ooh. Wait a minute. Before I even read the rest of that, just listen to what that said. The words of wise men are heard in quiet. Huh. So the quieter it gets, the more wise people are heard. Huh. I'm going to let you think on that, but watch what happens here. The words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. This is what I need you to get. And this fourth point, sometimes being heard is lost when you're seen. Sometimes being heard is lost when you're seen. Let that sink in a little bit. Because when we get to this fifth point, I ain't going to do right. Sometimes being heard is lost when you're seen. See, sometimes God wants you to come up missing out of some of them situations so they can hear what you said when you were in them. So they can hear what you said when you were in them. Sometimes what he needs is for you to come up missing. He needs for you to back out of the way so that they can hear him through what he had you tell them. See that some of y'all don't be upset because they're not adhering to what you said. See, some of y'all know God spoke to you and told you to go say what you told them, but there hasn't been any response yet. They ain't heard you yet. They still looking at you. They're still looking at you. See, because sometimes being heard is lost when you're being seen. So when you come up missing, when you're not able to be around a specific situation because he told you to step back so that they can hear you. See, y'all type that in for me. Step back so they can hear you. Teach them lines. Step back so they can hear you. Because sometimes being heard is lost when you're seen. So step back so they can hear you. and y'all free to use that. I'm about to step back so you can hear me. And they probably ain't going to know what you meant, but they're going to figure it out. They're going to learn. Because once you step back, then they're going to understand, wait a minute. when they said this right here, oh, so that's what they meant. And then you'll be able to hear, they'll be able to hear what you said after you're out of sight. Because this is what I need for you to get. Because when you function in kingdom, the game changes. Kingdom is not about you getting an abundance of me. Kingdom is about you getting less of me, but more power from me. See, let's go to our last passage. Now let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 1, verses 1 through 8. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verses 1 through 8 says this. Because I need for you to get this last point, and then I'm gonna shut it down because I gotta save my voice. I got three more teachings I gotta do between now and Saturday. So I need for y'all to give me a little grace. I'm gonna stop a little short after I get this last point in, because I need for y'all to get this right here. So in Deuteronomy chapter 1, verses 1 through 8, it says this. It says, "These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel and Laban and Hazeroth and Dizahab. There are 11 days journey." I'm just reading to you what's right here. There are 11 days journey from Horeb by the way of Mount Seir unto Kadesh Barnea. And it came to pass in the 40th year, watch this, in the 11th month, on the first day of the month, today, like equivalent to the time today, that Moses spake unto the children of Israel, according unto all that the Lord had given him in commandment unto them, after he had slain Sihon, the king of the Amorites, which dwelt in Heshbon, and Og, the king of Bashan, which dwelt in Ashtaroth and Edrei. On this side Jordan, in the land of Moab, began Moses to declare this law, saying, "The Lord our God spake unto us in Horeb, saying, You have dwelt long enough in this mountain. Turn you and take your journey and go to the mount of the Amorites and unto all the places nigh thereunto." Watch this. "In the plain, in the hills, and in the vale," which is in the valley, "and in the south, and by the seaside, to the land of the Canaanites, and unto Lebanon, unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Behold, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give unto them and to their seed after them." This is what I need you to get. If you ain't paying attention to nothing I've said up to this point tonight, make sure you hear me crystal clear with what I'm fixing to lay out for you concerning this right here. In verse 7, when he says, "Take your journey, go to the mount of the Amorites," he said, go to the high place of the Amorites. Watch this. Go to the plain, go where it's leveled out. It says, go to the hills. He says, and go to the valley and go down to the bottom. So in other words, he finna clean house. He finna clean house. All of this stuff that's getting exposed in 2024, he finna clean house. And there's a reason that he's cleaning house, because one of the things that a lot of people probably aren't even making known, and I'm about to make known right here, is the number 20 is the number of redemption. The number 24 is the number of the priesthood. 2024 is about redeeming the priesthood. And that's what he's doing. But in order to redeem the priesthood, he got to be real about where we stand. So he about to clean some stuff up in such a way that some folk gonna come up missing. Some things gonna change. Some folk gonna leave. Some folk gonna stay at your previous place. Some are gonna be on the previous level that y'all got to. Because it wasn't meant for them to go to the next level with you. He said, because they're gonna mess with your priesthood. He said, so I'm redeeming the priesthood. So there's things that I need in place in order to redeem the priesthood. So this is what I need you to get. Our last point is quiet strength is established when you come into agreement with the pathway and the pace given from the Most High for you to become who he put you here to be. Quiet strength is established when you come into agreement with the pathway and the pace given from the Most High for you to become who he put you here in the earth to be. The reason that I needed for you to understand all of these things that I wanted you to see tonight is because when you come into agreement with who he put you here to be, and he's the only one that you are focused on pleasing concerning that, other folk are going to get on board. As a matter of fact, the right ones are going to get on board as soon as you become who you are designed to be between you and him. You have to establish that quiet strength by making it just you and him. And then what he explains to you and lays out to you, and he becomes your audience of one, and you pursue that under all costs. The right people are going to be around you while you establish that. That's when he's going to remove those that have been a hindrance to you, that you haven't been able to see that they've been a hindrance. But this is why I need you to get this as we get ready to land this plane. As you have watched what you've watched transpire since the beginning of 2024, as you've watched it have you watched it take place and come into being, you've been able to find out some things about yourself. You can make it without what you thought you couldn't make it without. You can make it without those folks that you didn't think that you could make it without. You can make it without that job that you thought you couldn't make it without. You can make it without that neighborhood, that environment, whatever it was that you used to think that you couldn't make it without. You know now you can make it without it. Because the quiet strength has now proven to you that you really got this. Your quiet strength is now being rewarded openly. So for those of you that thought you couldn't make it, thought, man, I was expecting to do life like this. And all of a sudden, they chose to leave. They started being crazy. Whatever. Whatever the instance was that brought about the change that you didn't think you was going to be able to make it without. Well, now, here you are with your quiet, strong self. Saturday morning, exclusive Ecclesia, 8 a.m. this week, this Saturday, because like I said, I got some more preaching I got to do. Got some other places that we got to do. So 8 a.m. this Saturday morning, just this Saturday for the time being. I'm following the instructions of the Most High. Going to be on exclusive Ecclesia, 8 a.m. I'm going to bring you some finishing touches to this. If you're not on exclusive Ecclesia, you can, whoever invited you or whoever you know, if it's me or somebody else, you can just inbox me or inbox them, or you can just say, hey, add me to exclusive Ecclesia. It's all that's got to happen. You ask, they can add you, I can add you. All you got to do, if you want to inbox me, if you want to ask me, you just inbox me and just type in exclusive. That's all you got to do. Then I'll send you an invite. You accept the invite. You become a part of exclusive. That's it. But I want you to understand some things as a whole tonight. So again, first point, public weakness is revealed by wanting your power to be seen. Second point, private prayer produces public power. Point number 3, lack of maturity and integrity in private is eventually revealed in public weakness. Point number 4, sometimes being heard is lost when you're seen. Point number 5, quiet strength is established when you come into agreement with the pathway and the pace given from the Most High for you to become who He put you here in the earth to be. I set those things up so that on Saturday, when we come back to this, I want to uncover some things about that quiet strength for you and help you to begin to see that you're going to be all right. No matter what gets shown, no matter what happens with the weather, and no matter what goes on in life, and no matter what may come or go, you're going to be all right. Period. You stick with what the Most High puts you here in the earth to do. You be authentic about that. You make Him your audience of one. You're going to be all right. Not going to be an issue at all. So I thank you all for sticking with me tonight. Hopefully now you can see why they was trying to cut me off and cut the live off when we very started, and then now, cut the feed while I'm mid preaching and all of that. Now hopefully you can see, now that you've got all of these pieces, you can go back and listen to it all together and be able to catch it all together without it being clipped and tripped and all of that fun stuff. But man, I love y'all. Again, Saturday at 8 a.m. I'll be on, and I'm going to get done, and I got to get to another place by 11. Be ready to bring some more word. So y'all pray for me, because I'll be bringing word tomorrow, bringing word the next day, twice that day, put together, planning, preparing all those things. So y'all pray for me. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for everything that you do for Ecclesia Ministries. I pray that tonight's blessed you. Like I said, go back, check it out again so you can get it uninterrupted and just let it flow. But I love you all. Y'all take care. Have a blessed rest of the evening. Peace.